Well, the Angels looked like they were going to make it two straight impressive, solid, encouraging wins, being up 2 runs 2 separate times, but they blow that lead 2 separate times and ultimately lose 6-4 to the Texas Rangers. We'll break down the frustrating loss on tonight's edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast right now.
You are Locked On Angels Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast. Coming at you live, as always, on Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel and after the fact, wherever you get the Locked On Angels podcast feed. Man, oh man, a frustrating run tonight. The Angels looked like I said, they were going to have a nice, impressive win. They go up 2-0 in the first inning, thanks to Taylor Ward home run and some other stuff. Sure, they blow that lead, it becomes 2-2, but then they go up 2 runs again. In the top of the 6th, they're up 4-2. Heading into the bottom of the 7th, they're still up 4-2, and you're thinking, okay, bullpen is going to shut things down like they've done recently, and the Angels are going to pick up another impressive win and keep having some positive vibes, some good momentum going into the end of the season. But no, the bullpen, specifically Medeiros and Contreras, blow it 3 runs in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and they lose 6-4. The offense was not great, just 3 runs, and we had 2 errors of our own. So really, a game we did not deserve to win, but a game that it would have been nice to win nonetheless. Before we jump into this one, a quick shout out to everybody in here, as always, sticking with me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Gavin Carlson. I spent the last 4 years as a credentialed journalist in the LA area. I really need a haircut. You can tell the hair was getting really long. I really need to get some stuff on the back of this wall. We're getting there. I hope you appreciate the nice little sign I have going. Some nice vibes with the glow in the dark neon sign, but we need some stuff on the walls. We're going to get that. Like I said, working on this new apartment. We're going to get it looking good pretty soon. And also a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's show. It is PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play $5. Once again, shout out to everybody in here. Disappointing loss for the Angels tonight, a frustrating one on a Saturday night. There's so much going on. You know there's college football on. You know there's other baseball games going on that mean more than this game. But for all of us that sat here and watched this Angels game tonight, some encouraging stuff to some degree, right? One of those games where the scoreboard probably flatters the Angels. We'll jump into how they were ahead 2-0 and how they were ahead 4-2. Taylor Ward starts things off right away with another leadoff home run. I've been very critical of Taylor Ward in the leadoff spot. I felt like it doesn't make sense in terms of developing some younger guys, in terms of developing Nolan Shanuel as a potential leadoff guy. But Taylor Ward, we have to give him his credit. Since he's been moved into the leadoff spot, he had the longest hitting streak in all of the American League for a while. And sure, he usually goes 1 for 4. He did it again tonight. He still had 2 frustrating strikeouts. But at the end of the day, when you put up 3 hits, when you score 4 runs, you got to give Taylor Ward credit for being one of those 3 hits and one of those 4 runs via the solo shot in the top of the first right away in the beginning of the game on just the 3rd pitch of the game. He takes a hanging slider and hits it 385. It's 1-0. You're feeling good. Then Zach Neto gets hit by a pitch. He ends up getting all the way to 3rd on a wild pitch. And you're like, oh, and then Anthony Rendon hits him in with a sac fly. It's 2-0 Angels just like that. And you're feeling real good, especially knowing who is on the mound for the Los Angeles Angels. It is Tyler Anderson. We know he's probably our best starting pitcher in 2024. But the problem is, his record ain't great because whenever he seems to pitch, the Angels offense seems to not give him enough run support. And even when they do, the bullpen seems to blow it. He ends up with a no decision today. He's still 10-12 despite having a 3.5 ERA. He has a pretty solid outing, just gives up 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 earned run, 2 runs total, 7 strikeouts in 5 solid innings. And the first 4, he was flawless, able to go, no runs through the first 4 innings, only 1 hit allowed, like we're saying. And it's a 2-0 game all the way going into the 5th inning. Finally, the Rangers wake up offensively. They certainly weren't spectacular in this one, but they're good enough. It starts with an error by Anthony Rendon, of all people, the guy who doesn't give you anything on the hitting-wise except the occasional sac fly like tonight. Certainly doesn't give you anything on the bases. Certainly doesn't even give you anything in terms of playing enough baseball. And here, he's supposed to be a consistent fielder. No, a very costly error. Then Nathaniel Lowe walks, and just like that, it's 1st and 2nd. annoying. Tyler Anderson able to strike out Jonah Heim, keeps it out now 1 out with the runners on first and second. But then a huge one of the hits of the game, one of the at bats of the game, a 2-2 fastball right down the middle from Tyler Anderson, and Ezekiel Duran is able to double it. A line drive to center field. Langford scores, Lowe scores, and then Duran gets to third on a throwing error from Zach Neto that was extremely frustrating. One of the 2 errors in this inning. So Tyler Anderson, he only gives up 1 hit, this hit, and yet he gives up 2 runs because Anthony Rendon lets a guy on via the error, and then Neto helps Duran get to third. That ended up not mattering because Tyler Anderson was able to get out of the 5th inning, but still, 2 errors in 1 inning when your offense isn't doing much is really frustrating for Tyler Anderson. Credit to him for getting out of that 5th inning. It could have been a disaster, and Ron Washington elects to take Tyler Anderson out of this ball game after the Angels have a huge top of the 6th, and they didn't really earn a lot of the runs in this one. Zach Neto gets a leadoff walk. They take Leiter out for Andrew Chafin. He immediately throws a wild pitch after Neto steals second, and Neto goes all the way from second to home. Really exciting play. And at this point, you're feeling excited. The Angels blow their lead. It goes from 2-0 to 2-2. Zach Neto partially responsible, but then he responds by going from second to third on a wild pitch. Great job by him. And then after a Rendon ground out, advances Shanduel to third. Mickey Moniak's able to hit him in for an RBI single, and it's 4-2. The Angels give up 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They score 2 in the top of the 6th, and you're like, okay, this is a very, this is a performance that you can be proud of, even though there's some bad pitches, even though there are a couple costly errors, even though guys like Anthony Rendon and others are not having, huge performances, but they're having productive outs. Like we said, Rendon advances a guy over in this inning. He hits a sac fly in the other. Would love to see base hits, but we'll take it. It's 4-2. We would have loved to see Logan O'Hoppe or Brandon Drury come through once Mickey Moniak steals second base. Neither of them are able to do that. The top of the 6th ends, but it's still 4-2. The lineup still, despite not being phenomenal tonight, has done its job for the most part. Ron Washington elects to go with Hunter Strickland in the bottom of the 6th, and he gives up just 1 single. Other than that, solid inning. We go to the 7th. Angels not able to do anything. Bottom of the 7th, and that's when things go wrong. Victor Medeiros checks into this game for the Angels, and despite getting the first 2 outs via ground out and fly out, then all things go to heck. Jonah Heim gets the flies out. But Ezekiel Duran, who already had the big double, he gets walked. Then Carson Kelly pinch hits, and he immediately gets walked. So back-to-back walks from Medeiros after getting the first 2 guys out, and it ends up being real costly when then he gives up a single to Marcus Semien. That scores 1 run. Semien then steals second. Josh Smith hits a base hit that not only scores Carson Kelly, but also scores Semien because he was able to steal second. And just like that, your 4-2 lead is now a 3-run bottom of the 7th inning, and it's 5-4 just like that. Real frustrating. And then in the 8th, maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but this is really what frustrated me. A double from Josh Jung, immediately leadoff double, bottom of the 8th against Roansy Contreras. A ground out from Adolis Garcia, so it's 1 out, runner on third. Josh Jung is able to advance to third on the ground out. Runner on third, 1 out. And Wyatt Langford against Contreras, it's a down and in sinker, not a terrible pitch. Langford doesn't get the best contact on it at all. 75-mile-an-hour exit velo. It's kind of a flare into left center. Taylor Ward charging at it, slides and misses it. And I get it. It was not an easy play. I don't even know if it's fair to call it a 50-50 play, but certainly with Taylor Ward, it's not a 50-50 play, and that is frustrating. With a lot of outfielders, I think it is a real 50-50 play, or maybe even a play that you expect an above-average left fielder to make, but Taylor Ward's certainly not that, and it really could have been a big play. He could have made a sliding catch. Who knows? Maybe he gets up, he's able to hit the cutoff man, and they're able to keep the runner at third. Instead, he misses it, and of course, Josh Jung scores. Fortunately for the Angels, Wyatt Langford does not end up scoring from second. Nathaniel Lowe single only advances Langford to third, and then we're able to get 2 outs to just keep it to 1 run in the 8th. But really, if Taylor Ward slides, actually makes the play, gets the ball in, who knows? Maybe they don't score. Maybe it stays 5-4, and then when the Angels come up in the top of the 9th, against Kirby Yates, they're only down a run, and who knows what can happen. But instead, Taylor Ward, a below-average fielder, isn't able to make a above-average play, and the Angels go down 2, and when they're down 2 heading into the ninth, I don't think anyone had confidence that they were going to tie this one up, and they didn't even try. 1-2-3, strikeout from Ohapi, ground out from Drury, fly out from Cavadas, and the ball game is over. When we come back from this one, we'll talk about the offense a little bit more, the lack of performing for most people, just 3 hits. We'll get to Gavin's good, bad, and ugly, and we'll look forward to tomorrow. Hopefully the Angels can even up this series and, more importantly, get their 60th win of the year. They're now 59-83, and we know we're trying to avoid those horrible records in terms of the worst seasons in Angels history. We'll talk about it when we come back from our first break here on the Locked On Angels Postcast. Now, today's show is brought to you by TonaI, and I know some of you forgot about TonaI, so I'm excited we get to talk about it again. Look, now I am someone who loves working out. I literally just got back from the gym. I was watching, I think, the 2nd through 5th innings of the Angels game on my phone at the gym before I went back home, watched the end of the game, and right when I got home is when the bullpen started to blow this one. But for those of us like myself who thrive on getting stuff done, including workouts, every minute counts. I mean, literally, I got to the gym today at 5 and the gym closed at 6 where I go. I only had an hour to get a workout in. I normally like lifting for 90 minutes. Call me crazy, sometimes even 2 hours. But today I only had an hour because it was closing, and that was frustrating. Every minute counts, and I would have, if I had even 10 more minutes, I think the workout would have gone from a B to an A type of workout. Every minute counts, and that's why you and probably myself need TonaI, the smart strength training system that takes the guesswork out of working out so you can make sure you're making the most of every rep. When life gets busy, fitting a workout can be stressful. With TonaI, you can get efficient workouts personalized just for you, and they're available with the amount of time you have. Even the most dedicated gym goers like myself struggle with consistency. Absolutely. I didn't get to go yesterday when I normally try to go literally 6 days a week. The commute, waiting for weights, other people's sweat, it makes skipping a workout very tempting. But with TonaI, you can choose from thousands of workouts and train in a way you can actually enjoy at home. TonaI is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps you get stronger. Powered by AI, TonaI learns with every rep so it can deliver workouts personalized just for you. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you, as TonaI will optimize every single workout. Unlike traditional training equipment, it uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. And from professional athletes to the mom of 3, it's trusted by thousands who have become their strongest with TonaI. So right now, TonaI is offering our listeners $200 off your TonaI purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's right, $200 on TonaI.com using promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's TonaI.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off with TonaI. Take advantage of that amazing offer. Back here live on the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel. This is the Locked On Angels Postcast. I'm Gavin Carlson, a frustrated Gavin Carlson, as the Angels blow a 2-0 lead, a 4-2 lead, and end up losing 6-2 late in Texas in what could have been a nice stretch there. 2 back-to-back wins. You're up 2-1 going into the series finale tomorrow, looking at maybe a 3 out of 4 win series against the Rangers, against a division rival. Would feel nice, but instead the bullpen collapses in this one, specifically Victor Medeiros and a little bit of Ronzi Contreras in a 6-4 loss. They blew a great Tyler Anderson start, and sure, they did blow a couple leads, but let's not act like this offense was unbelievable. Taylor Ward goes 1 for 4 with the leadoff home run, but he still had 2 strikeouts. Zach Neto, he scored 2 runs, but he was still 0 for 2 other than his walk, and he had a strikeout. Nolan Chanuel 0 for 3. He scored a run via a walk, but 2 strikeouts. Rendon, he got an RBI. He had a walk. 0 for 2, though. Moniak goes 1 for 4 with a strikeout. The struggles continue for Logan Ohapi. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Man, he is just a mess. And it's really getting to the point where maybe, I know he had the encouraging home run last night. I know he had the encouraging home run against the Dodgers. And I know I was giving him credit for being resilient. But then he responds with a game like this, and you just know he's not right still. And you think, maybe we just need to give this guy a couple days off so he cannot be kicking himself with how bad he has been playing. Drury goes 1 for 4. That's a miracle. He's hitting 170 now. Cavadas, he goes 0 for 2 with 2 walks. 2 walks, okay, but he's still not showing the ability to get base hits. He's hitting 106. And then Teodosio, he makes his MLB debut in center field. He goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Certainly nothing impressive there. Gavin's good, bad, and ugly. We'll keep it simple in this one. I certainly think Tyler Anderson, he gets a good. He was pretty darn good. He gave up 1 hit 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 5 innings pitched. Could have been a scoreless 5 innings if it wasn't for an leadoff error from Anthony Rendon and another error from Zach Neto. Hunter Strickland, he was okay. He gave up just 1 hit in his 6th inning appearance. I give him credit. So the goods, I'd say Tyler Anderson certainly, Hunter Strickland probably. No one in the lineup really deserves a good. I mean, nobody had multiple hits. There was only 3, Drury, Moniak, and Taylor Ward. Zach Neto, I was proud of him for being able to score 2 runs despite not having a hit. And I like seeing 2 walks from Kavadas even in a game where he can't actually get his bat on the ball. But other than that, no one on the lineup was good. I'd say just overall, the lineup kind of gets an ugly, not even a bad, an ugly in this one when you have 3 hits for the game and you were kind of gifted some runs, let's be honest. The other uglies, you got to give Medeiros an ugly. He pitches 1 inning, but he gives up 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 earned runs. And Contreras, I'd say it's bad, not ugly. He gives up a run, but who knows? He gives up 3 hits, but if Taylor Ward's able to make a play, maybe he doesn't give up any runs. Nonetheless, it's a frustrating loss. You're looking at who the Angels are going against in this one too. You're going up against a guy whose ERA is awful. Jack Leiter, I don't know how you say it, but he came into this one 0-2, the ERA well over 10. It's even after this outing, it's at 10-4-1. So this is a game where you would expect this Angels lineup that's been okay recently to have a good game. But no, just 2 hits in 5 innings. Just 2 hits. You get walked twice. You have 2 hits. Frustrating. Chafin gifts you a run thanks to a wild pitch. But other than that, you weren't able to do anything. Festa shut us down with 2 strikeouts. Leclerc looked good. He ends up getting the win with his strikeout in just 2/3 of an inning. Robertson, he gives up a walk, but also a strikeout in his scoreless inning. And then Yates goes 1-2-3, including a strikeout, to lock things down in the 9th inning. At the end of the day, I'm not expecting this lineup to be amazing against everybody, but against a guy like Jack Leiter, who has a 10+ ERA, that is frustrating. I really wanted to see something else more than that. We're going to take our last break here on the Locked On Angels Postcast. This will probably be a short one, just kind of one of those games, one of those days. Not that many people in here. I get it. It's a Saturday. Or probably a lot of you watching college football and just wanted to check in on the Angels. They weren't able to get it done, unfortunately. So we'll take our last break, and when we come back, we'll get to your comments. We'll talk about tomorrow. We'll talk about the rest of the year, and I'll let you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. We'll take our last break here. I'll be right back. Now, finally, today's show is brought to you by the great people at PrizePicks. Did you know that right now, 1 Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on PrizePicks every week in September? That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends, and it starts tomorrow as the NFL has our first Sunday, or the Professional Football League. I'm not supposed to say that the 3 letters. The Professional Football League gets its start tomorrow, other than the first 2 games we saw, but the first Sunday of the professional football season. Take advantage of that Caleb Williams promotion and just take advantage of PrizePicks in general. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members because it's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. So, if you want to play PrizePicks alongside Drewski, Joe Budden, and MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley, you can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the PrizePicks community each week. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy too, so that your lineup stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, with PrizePicks, your picks are still live. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes, and I also love that I can get a lineup in as little as 60 seconds. PrizePicks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. There's so many great promotions with PrizePicks. It's absolutely amazing. An example of a lineup this weekend: Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards, or Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards, and CeeDee Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. Something that I love too, if you have a guy on your fantasy team and you're just hoping he does well, well, you might as well put a lineup in that has him doing well. You're going to be rooting for it anyway, and then if it really works out well, you get double the joy. Your fantasy lineup does well, but also your PrizePick lineup hits and you get some money. So download the PrizePicks app today, use code LOCKEDONMLB, and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Back here live one more time, the Locked On Sports Los Angeles YouTube channel. This is the Locked On Angels Postcast. I am Gavin Carlson, and the Angels are defeated tonight on Saturday night in Texas, 6-4 the final. They're up 2-0. They're up 4-2. Tyler Anderson, very solid. 4 scoreless innings to start this one. He does give up 2 runs in the 5th. One of them is unearned, though, thanks to a leadoff error from Anthony Rendon. And even though the Angels respond to the 2 runs they gave up in the bottom of the 5th with 2 runs in the top of the 6th, they blow it. 3 runs given up by Victor Medeiros in the bottom of the 7th, and then another run given up by Roansy Contreras in the bottom of the 8th. Cost the Angels in this one as the Angels fall back to 24 games under 500, 59-83. We know they're 4 wins away from avoiding 100 losses. I think they're going to get that. We know they are 6 wins away, or 7 or 8 wins away from ensuring that they won't have the worst record in Angels history. I kind of changed that number because their worst record of all time, 65-95. Theoretically, they only need 7 wins to get more than 65, but then they would still have more than 95 losses because 65 plus 95 is only 160, and we play 162 games in the Major League Baseball now. So in order to actually avoid the worst, avoid it having the most losses in a season, the Angels can only lose 11 more games. And now we have played, if I can do the math, 142. So we have exactly 20 games left, and we can't lose 12 or else we tie for the worst record. So you got to win at least 8. If you win 8, you go 67-95, which would tie for the most losses in a season. I wouldn't classify that as the worst loss, though, because not only do you tie, or the worst season, because not only do you tie for the most losses, but you also would not have 65 wins, you'd have 67. So I'm going to say let's win 8 of our next 20, and we can avoid saying this is the worst season in Angels history. It'd be nice to win 9 just to make sure. But right now, I don't have much confidence. It's annoying, too, because the last week or so has actually been decently okay, because before that, I was certain this team was going to get to 100 losses. I came out and declared it. Luckily, I was wrong there, but they are certainly in play to have the worst season in the franchise history, and it's looking more likely when you have a game like tonight where you don't even play well, and yet you're in a great position to win, and you blow it. That's what makes this one so frustrating. We'll look quickly at tomorrow for the Angels. The interesting thing is, like I say here on the side, pitching is still not the number one issue this season. You give up 6 runs. Sure, the bullpen blows it and gives up 4. But at the end of the day, it's another game where the Angels don't even look like they're going to score runs, right? And so I think tomorrow what I would like to see is the lineup play better. Pitching is always going to be kind of the same. We're going to give up like 5 runs a game. That's pretty average, and I'm okay with that. I would like to see the lineup show us something here. I mean, it's September 7th right now. The season ends on the 29th. You've got like a couple weeks left. Obviously, we said 20 games. How many do I want to win? I want to win 9 so we don't get to 95 losses. How many do I think we will win? Let's go through it real quick. We have 1 more against the Rangers tomorrow. It's an early game. Then we have 3 against the Twins, 3 against the Astros, 3 against the White Sox, 4 more against the Astros, 3 more against the White Sox, 3 against the Rangers. The reason I think we'll get to those 9 wins, actually, thinking about it, is because we're playing the White Sox 6 times the rest of the year. If we don't win at least 4 of those 6, that's disgraceful. I mean, the White Sox are an embarrassment. So you better win at least 4 of those 6 against the White Sox. That gets you to 63 wins. If you need 4 or 5 more, I think you can win 1 of the 3 against the Twins, certainly. 1 of the 3 against the Astros, that's 2 right there. Then win 1 of the 4 against the Astros, that's 3. And then win 1 of the last 3 games against the Rangers, that's 4. So you get your 8 wins right there. I mean, I'm asking you to win one game per series the rest of the year. Other than the White Sox series, come on. I would love to see us win 2 of 3 against the Astros when they come to town next weekend. I think it's possible, and I think we could also win 2 of 3 when the Rangers come to town last weekend of the year. But I don't know. That's probably being hopeful above all else. I'm trying to quickly see who the Angels actually have pitching tomorrow. I can't seem to figure it out, which is annoying. MLB.com, I wish you could be a little bit easier for me right now, but I want to say it's going to be Caden Dana. I mean, he last pitched last Sunday against the Mariners. So I think it could be him. Maybe I can quickly look that up. I know I'm not supposed to be typing, but in the middle of the show, but I just want to see it. I'm curious who is going to pitch. I guess it doesn't have it yet. It's annoying. Okay, yeah, here we go. Caden Dana is supposed to pitch tomorrow. Good. It took me some time to get there, but would like to see Caden Dana have another great start. He obviously had a great MLB debut. He gets a win in his first career start. 6 innings pitched. The ERA is 3. You'll certainly take it. Gives up just 2 earned runs. He only gave up 2 hits. He had 4 walks. He only had 4 strikeouts. If you want to know what I want to see from him, if he gave me that same performance again, I would absolutely be satisfied. I would even be okay with seeing him give up maybe 4 or 5 or even 6 hits instead of 2 if he goes from 4 walks to maybe 2. If he goes from 4 strikeouts to maybe 6. I don't know. You kind of want to see different strengths from a young guy like Caden Dana, and if it means he gives up 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 hits, but gives up only 1 or 2 walks, I think that's an improvement after last week when he gives up 4 walks, right? You want to see him improve on something he was not great at his first start, even if it means giving up a couple more hits and maybe even an extra run or 2. So that's what I'll be looking out for tomorrow. Andrew Heaney on the mound for the Rangers. Certainly not a crazy good pitcher. I would like to see the Angels lineup do better, but they didn't do well at all against Jack Leiter, whose ERA is above 10. Andrew Heaney, sure, he's 4-13, but the ERA is 3.81. He's actually been okay. So we'll see. Caden Dana, the number one priority is to see him play well because he could very easily be like our second best starting pitcher next year. I mean, behind Tyler Anderson, maybe Jose Soriano still can have that claim, but would really like to see Caden Dana do well. That's the number one goal tomorrow. That being said, we'll wrap this one up. Just kind of a short show. Disappointing loss. Not much to talk about other than the Angels blowing this one and the abysmal offense returns. Once again, the Angels fall 6-4 to the Texas Rangers, fall to 59-83 on the season. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow for the postcast. It's also an NFL Sunday. I will also be doing the Locked On Rams postcast Sunday Night Football, which means it'll be a late postcast. Probably going live around 8:30 p.m. till around 9 p.m. to break down instant reactions from the Rams season opener Sunday Night Football against the Lions. So be on the lookout for that as well. But with all that being said, shout out to everybody in here. I'm Gavin Carlson. Angels lose 6-4 to the Rangers. Hopefully we can win one tomorrow and even up this series, continue that road to 67-68, something like that. Wins. As always, even after a loss, go Angels. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.